Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And today, I want to talk a little bit about the Saints running backs. Now, if you have not heard, Alvin Kamara, he went into the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had an ankle injury that kept him out of practice for a couple of days. And in the middle of the game, I think maybe like the first drive, he ended up going into the blue tent because he had a knee injury. And because of that injury, the Saints are trying out Tavares Cadet. Now, if you've been following the Saints for a couple of years, you know Tavares Cadet was one of those third down backs. Pretty decent running back. You know, the Saints signed him on several occasions. It was a stint where he was, backing up behind Mark Ingram and Darren Sproles. And he was one of those guys that was kind of elusive, did some good things for the black and gold. Me personally, this was what I was afraid of on the last podcast when I talked about Alvin Kamara. I said that Alvin Kamara needed to sit out the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this was the reason why. It's because you want to have somebody like Alvin Kamara at 100%. You don't want to see him go out here and, hurt himself even more and then, be out for several weeks, because we all know how important Alvin Kamara is to the New Orleans Saints. We all know the type of offensive threat that he is, the matchup nightmare that he's been since he's been with the black and gold since he came out of Tennessee. Alvin Kamara showed that he is an every down back. He can run between the tackles. He can catch out of the backfield. He's good at run support. But I think Latavius Murray against the Jacksonville Jaguars showed that he could be the bell cow back. I don't understand why Sean Payton just didn't want to use Latavius Murray. I don't know why. You went out here and you signed him because you felt that he would be a good replacement for Mark Ingram. And we all see what Mark Ingram is doing in Baltimore. So why not go out here and allow this man to carry the load and sit down Alvin Kamara and also bring in Dwayne Washington? I mean, we see what Dwayne Washington did last year against the Cincinnati Bengals, and then a Week 17 game against the Carolina Panthers. The guy can tote the rock too. So I feel like this right here, Sean Payton, sometimes I think he get a little bit arrogant sometimes. I think he reads the press clippings sometimes of what some of these media people be saying about his players, and he wants to say like, oh, you saying this about my player? Well, watch this. You're saying that Alvin Kamara is not every down back? Well, watch this. I mean, you can't do that. This is a very important game going up against the Chicago Bears, probably the biggest game that the Saints have this season, in my opinion. I mean, the Bears, they have a vaunted defense. They're playing at Soldier Field, one of the loudest venues in the National Football League. And you know that you have players like Akeem Hicks, a former Saint, who absolutely do not like them, who want to go out there and try to impose his will on the black and gold. So you want all systems to go. But I do think that them signing Tavares Cadet is just basically just for depth reasons. I don't think that he's going to play in this game. I think the Saints would be okay if Latavius Murray gets the start and backed up by Dwayne Washington. I actually like that 1-2 combo because I like both guys. I think both guys can get the job done. I think that they can actually sustain drives, get those 4 and 5 yards of carry, control the time possession, what the Saints have been doing for the last couple weeks. And then, hopefully, they can go out there and get that victory against the Chicago Bears. But I hate to see that Alvin Kamara hurt his knee in the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully it won't cause him to be out for, a huge amount of time. Maybe the Saints are just signed Tavares to Cadet for precautionary measures, but I just don't feel like Alvin Kamara should have played in the game. I mean, even the way the game went, it kind of just seemed like he wasn't even needed in this game. So hopefully this can be a lesson to, Sean Payton in the future. If you got a guy as valuable as Alvin Kamara, to leave him out in games, and trust the guys that are behind him. So down the line, you can have him at 100%. But I would like to hear from you. What do you think about Alvin Kamara? What do you think about the possible signing of Tavares Cadet? Comment down below, like and share this video. Once again, my name is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And all I got to say is, who dat?